sword swallowing, glass eating, balloon swallow, and the human blockhead. And I guess what everybody wants to know about each one of these traits is, how do you learn it? Glass eating, there's nothing really to it except that it is a certain type of glass, and it is a clear light bulb. It cannot be slightly pink, it can't be white, otherwise it's poisonous and it can kill you. So that's the only thing that there is to it, and when you bite it, you have to make sure you chew it to a fine, as much as you can chew it, and you swallow it. There is no trick behind that. The human blockhead, this can be done in several ways. A lot of people use a screwdriver, a nail, a crazy straw. The lizard man does it the best. He has a big corkscrew. That's the hardest. And he can put it up through the other nostril, one nostril out the other. My favorite is doing the human blockhead with the crazy straw, where I put it up my nose and pull it out from my back of my throat. And what's the trick to that, you say? Nothing. It just feels really, really weird. And you got to get past that to the hole in your cavity and then pull it out from the back of your throat and out. And at first, yeah, I cried because it's just tear ducts and the gag reflexes. You got to do that. But there was really no practicing. I was at work and I was bored, and I said, I'm going to try this. And all the girls are like, yeah, not really thinking that I was going to do it, and I did it. Sword swallowing. Sword swallowing was it is the hardest, and that's why there's only 9 sword swallowers known in the country. It's not fun to practice, because you do have to get past 3 gag reflexes. You have one right here, and one here. And you could say there's a 4th one, and that's knowing when to stop at the end of your stomach. But basically, I guess it's mind over matter. That's what you got to do. You have to get past the fact that you have an object that's not supposed to be there, and you have to mentally get over the fact that, hey, just let it be. You have to relax. Mentally, I have to prepare myself before each act, especially fire. I can't do anything else because there's so many things that could go wrong. Depending on how you do the eating glass trick, I break a hammer, but sometimes you can bite into it. You're gonna get cut. I bled for the first time eating glass at Chuck E. Cheese, of all places, in front of a kid's birthday party, which was not the greatest idea. So don't try this at home. For sword swallowing, I just figured this out the hard way. You have to be very, very careful because it could go down the wrong pipe, which there's one to your stomach and one to your lungs. The one down to your lungs is not fun at all. But basically, I zone out and I pull everybody out, and I'm in my own little world, and it's a very big adrenaline rush. I think, the closest comparison I can put it to is, I guess, what people get from, bungee jumping, skydiving, things like that. Fire, it's really dangerous. There's no trick to that. I have burned my hair. I have burned my skin to second degree burn, but it's never stopped me. All of this is very dangerous. You can't be reckless. You can't, preferably not be under the influence. Glass eating, if you don't chew it up right, you can cut yourself, anywhere in your stomach, your throat. Fire eating, you can burn yourself. You can, if you drop it, you can burn the whole place down. Sword swallowing, you have to make sure, it is a sword, but we're not invincible. It is a dull sword. So you have to make sure that you do that right as well. And also you have to relax because you can hurt yourself doing this. The sideshow act, unfortunately, I've only been doing the glass eating maybe for 6 months. And sword swallowing was in October, so for 2 months. And the human blockhead, the crazy straw, I've been doing about the same as a glass eating, so for about 6 months. I'm pretty amateur at all the circus acts. But fire, I've been doing that for 3 years. I love it. Like, this is my job now. There's no replacing it. And it's so funny because, you know, I've been a performer for years now, and people come, you know, they're starting to see me progress in my performance, and they're like, we can tell that you feel so much more comfortable doing the more dangerous things and just being a burlesque dancer. And they find that really fun because it's stuff that nobody really sees here in Dallas. And I'm glad that I can be bringing that element to Dallas. What do I want in the future with all of this is basically to put up a badass show, and I want it to be either a mixture. It could be a mixture of girls, boys, or all girls, you know, guys. But I want to put together where everybody knows all of the traits, which is kind of impossible, but we're talking about my dream here. So, but I want to know, I'm learning aerials right now, aerial silks, aerial hoop, and trapeze, and I want the other people who I'll be working with do the same thing. You know, I spin LED poi. I want people to learn that, and I want people to learn the circus sideshow, and basically make a big show, almost Cirque du Soleil meets, you know, music. I'm a big music fan, so anytime I hear a song, right now I'm a big Rammstein Pussifer buff, that I create all these routines and mix it together and make a routine, or what's the word I'm looking for? I make a piece and I write everything down, and I have like certain people intended for it. So, and all in all, like I would love to do a show, you know, in a theater where, like I said, it's Cirque du Soleil meets rock music or any type of music, basically. Do I want to try acting? Yes, I do. I would love to be a stunt girl. That would be my dream. So I guess for all you people, you fine people out there, what I would like to leave you with is that, you know, of course not everybody can do this, but the way that I got through this is the way, you know, what my mom always told me. If you're going to do something, you're going to do it. And I've never really had a problem of not achieving some type of goal, whether it's been, you know, I've worked in the news business, I've been a teacher, I've, you know, now I'm getting into, you know, performing, and I've never had a problem where, you know, something's in my way, because I find a way to make it happen. There is no obstacles, and the only way to get past that is to make it happen. So the thing that I leave you with is, if you really, really want something, go out there and find it. You can find a way to make it happen.